Are you ready for the ultimate bikepacking weekend adventure? Join us for an unforgettable self-supported bikepacking trip through Southwest Virginia. The Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure travels along the Virginia Creeper Trail, the beautiful gravel roads of Grayson County, Virginia, and the New River Trail. All lodging and camping arrangements are included, along with daily routes and guides riding along with you. This self-supported adventure offers resupply opportunities every 20 miles for your food and water needs. Find out more at graveltraveldirt.com.
You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Hey y'all, I'm Brian.
And I'm Joey.
This is episode 133 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. Come on along, everybody. Spend the next hour or so with us talking about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping, or just playing bikes. I didn't slip any weirdness in there this week.
No,
just
I didn't interrupt you either.
Kept it clean, kept it simple, kept it very informed, very professional tonight,
Yes.
Joey. We're being very professional tonight.
Yes.
That's one thing that, because we are running a little bit late, I apologize for that. We're about an hour late on our projected start time because I had to go get my car from the shop. Had to have all sorts of thousands of dollars worth of stuff. Seriously, not that much.
Prius stuff?
Yeah, Prius stuff is always more expensive. And I don't really like to muck around underneath that hood by myself.
No.
Because if you don't unplug something right, you could catch the big old Volt Frizzy and you could end up fried underneath the hood of a Prius, and I don't want to do that. Yes, everybody, I have a Prius in my fold.
Yeah, remember we used to sleep in it.
That's right. I know, but there could be some new listeners. Hang on. There could be some new listeners that don't understand, the complexities of who Brian is. Yeah. And the fact that...
We figure out what the sleeping in the Prius episodes were.
Yeah. There are actually some pictures on some social media places of all three of us spread out in the Prius. Because I used to sleep in the Prius.
Yes.
Because the cool thing about the Prius as a camper is you can actually keep it running and no worries. So you can sleep in it, air conditioned, heated, whatever you want to do. Just keep a window cracked. You always got to keep a window cracked. Because you don't want any CO2.
Like the camper of the future?
Yeah. No, not really. Anyway. What are we drinking tonight? We're both on the straight and narrow.
I got lime seltzer.
I have Mandarin seltzer. Not even any alcohol in it.
No alcohol in this.
It's what now? It's August 17th, and it's what, 3 weeks to unpaved?
3 weeks? Oh, jeez. Dave's probably freaking out.
We're seriously on the unpaved prep bandwagon.
Yeah.
Whether we know it or not, I think we kind of have to be. I'm excited about Unpaved this year.
Oh, me too.
I think it's going to be a cool time.
We might have something thrown in as far as Jessica for that one. I just found out.
Well, I know she's got some work stuff going on.
But it might be that Monday.
What?
I thought everyone had off on Monday. Indigenous Day, Old Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Turns out not everyone has off.
Oh. No, not everybody gets that holiday off.
No, so turns out, as far as Jess, it might change a little bit.
Well,
because you finishing up late Sunday and then got to be at school Monday morning.
That's the only thing is that it's a long way to come after the ride is done.
That nice time to get home Mondays. Yeah.
But you know what? If we all travel together, it's not that far, and it's like you could share the load on the
it's only
drive
like 5
side.
hours.
Yeah, we could share the load on the drive side, so that wouldn't be that bad. And then we can play some really loud music.
When we play Fireball.
Yeah. Play your Fireball driving down the highway.
Yeah.
That was fun. I enjoyed, it is good that, with people now being out and about with coming out of COVID, there's a lot more Fireball bottles.
Drinking again.
Yeah, it's fun to play
I felt like
Fireball.
early COVID, people were just driving and throwing us everywhere. We had some early COVID long rides where you're finding a lot.
Yeah, but then they went away. I mean, they went hard away for a long time.
Yeah.
And only recently has Fireball begun to reappear on the roadsides and in the ditches. And you crushed me. We'll talk about our ride yesterday.
It was a comeback kid yesterday.
You crushed me at Fireball yesterday.
I was down like 5-4 at one time.
I know. You were down. And then part of my problem was I got antsy. And so I started calling fakes.
And you're deducting.
Because I was behind and I was feeling the pressure and I knew you were on your game. For some reason, you were just like on fire with the ball.
Fireball.
Get it?
Yeah.
And so I started calling out leaves, and everybody
Sticks.
so you know the rules of Fireball. You know,
Yeah.
if you call out a Fireball bottle and it's not in fact a Fireball bottle,
Subtract.
then it's subtraction.
Yeah.
And I like the wrinkle we threw in there yesterday with the whole if there was like a tie goes to Tyler. That's how he ended up winning. We'll talk about all that later anyway. But that's really all I need. All I wanted to talk about is the fact that, you know, I'm doing my unpaved prep. I am hard on the bike. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm doing time and I'm doing distance, but I'm not laying down. I'm purposefully holding the efforts. I'm reining the efforts in so that I can, in fact, get the distance to equal the time on bike and not truly suffer. That's my approach to unpaved preparation. Do you feel like that's solid?
I don't know. I'm just riding my bike.
Well, that's kind of what I'm doing too. But so I'm not really like saying I'm going to go X number of miles or X number of miles away. I'm just like basically trying to get as much time on the bike as I can without overexerting myself so that I can extend the time on bike. So I have no idea if that's a realistic or real thing to do or not, but it makes me feel good. And that's all that matters, is that I feel good. It matters not what anybody else says or does.
Or anyone else feels.
What's going on in your world?
We went on a nice ride yesterday.
You want to talk about that now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That was a lot of fun. Totally.
You said it was your favorite ride of the year.
It was. Well, I didn't know if we wanted to give it a top billing later in the program. But no, let's go now. Let's talk about it now. We ended up doing a huge ride yesterday.
Yeah.
Totally unplanned.
Way unplanned.
Way unplanned.
I had a bike search through like 5 minutes before the ride and everything, and just it's like, all right.
You texted me and I was like, hey, I want to do like. You even said like you were going to do like a short ride up to Calvert Cliffs and
do the fire road a couple of times, some of the side trails, and be back.
And then I
wanted to smoke some meat on the smoker.
I was like, maybe we should do a little more. It really didn't even start out like that. It was just like, I'll meet you, and
we were just supposed to ride to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, and we got to Dunkin' Donuts, and then it was. But the miles stacked up really quickly.
They did.
It was weird.
It's already 20 something by there.
Yeah, it felt like.
And then by the time you hit 40, you're like, all right, let's do 60, and then 60, and then.
Well, let's back up a little bit. So it was you, me, and Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler.
And I told Tyler we were going to.
You told Tyler that. Well, first off, you gave him the wrong starting location, so he had extra to begin with.
Yeah, out of habit, I said Weiss Shopping Center, and we have two Weiss grocery stores. One's in 4 miles up the road. One's by in the same shopping center as the new shop. Out of habit, we've always met by Moe's, which was the Lesby one, and then
on a Monday, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in Lesby, and I told Tyler I'm here, and a few minutes later, he's like, "I'm here too, in front of the shop." I'm like,
Well, to be fair, I thought I was headed to the Solomon's Weiss as well.
Well,
I actually didn't think that I was going to reach there before you guys started north. So I rode south to meet you.
Yep.
And then off we went with just Dunkin' Donuts in mind, which was 15 miles up the road, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 miles. Maybe 12, 15
I was like
miles up the road.
19 when I got there.
So we got to the Dunkin' Donuts and teas and coffees were consumed, and it was. Then we started playing with.
Then you and me were talking like, why don't we go on Dares Beach? And you're like, well, let's go over here. And then
we just started totally shaking things out.
Yeah.
And by the time I think that I had mapped it all out, because we were probably sitting at around 20.
Yeah.
That's where I was. I was right in the 20 ballpark at Dunkin' Donuts. And then it was like, okay, well, we can go out Dares Beach and add a few miles there. And then we were talking about doing the other side of Prince Frederick. And it was like, no, let's just go south and sixes and all that nonsense. And it was just the miles came really fast. And it was fun. It was, and I said this several times to you. I said it several times to Tyler. It was, in my opinion, my best ride of the season from a fun perspective. And it was just, we were having a good time playing Fireball. We stopped when we wanted to stop. There was plenty of conversation and talking on the bike. Nobody was trying to suffer. Everybody was just, kind of like, you didn't get up that hill quite as fast? Okay, cool. So we'll chill at the top and kind of slow roll and you catch up or we'll stop. And it was just pleasant. And the weather was perfect.
Pretty good. It got a little warm.
Well, the sun wasn't out. It was humid.
Yeah.
And then when I left you guys, though, like the clouds went away and it turned into sun zone.
Yeah, and then it turned into this.
So when we were on our way back, well, how many miles did you end up with?
70, right around 70.
70 and change?
Yeah.
Okay, and I did just literally
right over 100. Yeah,
right over 100. And because when I got back to where I would have turned off to go back home where I started my ride, I was right at 60. And, I have my regular 41-mile loop that I do from my house south down here. So at the back of my head, I'm like, well, why don't I just go ahead and do it? Because the legs felt great. And you said the same thing. Your legs felt great yesterday, too, didn't they? And I was joking last night that I felt like I was a little bit beat up, but really not. I think I cramped last night one time. I never sleep well after a big ride. Do you?
That's up great.
I don't ever. I don't know what it is. My body just doesn't want to settle down after a big effort like that. And it was weird because we didn't start early in the morning.
No,
it was like
that was our problem.
Right in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really have a problem though. So when I left you guys,
I think if we would have left like at 7 versus 9:30 or whatever.
Oh, you'd have done it.
Yeah,
you'd have done it.
Yeah, I just had stuff to do. It's my weekend.
But the thing is, it's just totally unplanned.
Yeah,
and I think we stopped at the fast stop like within the first 10 or 12 miles of going.
Tyler said he had to pee.
When
the doors were locked.
He was in there a long time.
Yeah.
He was in there a long time for just peeing. But I got to that point where I guess it was somewhere down around Brooms Island that it kind of clicked in that I was like, my mileage based on where I'm at and how I felt, I was like, I could go a little further. I could do a little bit more today. And we went down that road that neither one of us have ever gone
Parker's
down.
Wharf.
Parker's
That's
Wharf
beautiful
Road.
road.
And that's right on Tom's Turtle Route. I do not know
why
why
they haven't done it before.
My God, it may be. It may be really close to probably the prettiest road in Calvert County.
Oh, imagine it in the fall.
Oh, when you come across that last hill before it drops down and you got the cornfield on one side and another kind of whatever.
Barns all over.
And you can see the whole of the rivers out in front of you. Man, it is a gorgeous road. And off of Brooms Island, we measured it out. You got a little bit better measurement than I did. It's like a 4-mile loop.
Yeah, it was around 4 or something.
To go down, and we did the little fingers off the end just to kind of see what was going on down there. So we did some exploring too. Mm-hmm. I think that was kind of cool to be able to do that. But it was when we hit Brooms Island, right through that area, that it began to click in my head with mileage. So I did. I ran out of water at like mile 80. Because as soon as I left you guys, I felt like the sun came out, and it was just beating down on me. And because we stopped at Mom and Pop, and that was at around mile 55, right?
Yeah.
And then when we rolled from there,
no, that was mile 40.
Oh my, was it that?
Because I wanted to do Mom and Pop after the Brooms Island stuff. And you want to do it before?
You're right. Yeah. So pretty much we went nonstop, or I went nonstop. From Mom and Pop at 40-something all the way out to that 85.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that long. For some reason in my head, I was thinking we were at 55, and I only did
because I had 30-something miles. I was out of water.
Wow. So I did like 40 miles, and that's why I ran out of water. But, it was weird because it's like I ran out of water at a mile 80, and I measured it out. And that's the thing about riding big distances on roads you kind of know where you're going to be able to stop and start and where your services are going to be. So I kept pushing myself, though, because I knew that at about 87, I was going to stop at the McDonald's and grab some. I actually grabbed a Coke.
17 Big Macs.
Yeah, 17 Big Macs.
Yeah.
And that was actually, I was a much needed stop because I didn't have any lunch that day either. You didn't either.
No. I scarfed down a PB&J and chips too fast right before we left. Which upset my stomach the first part. Otherwise, I didn't have any food.
Did I have breakfast? Yeah, I'm sure I had breakfast.
I only ate that because I knew I was doing a little ride.
Yeah.
I would have packed more food.
Yeah, I didn't. But I didn't pack any food.
I had gummy worms.
Scarfing your gummies.
Yeah.
Like scarfing the gummies. Mm-hmm. And then when we got to, because you bought the little mini Fireball at Mom and Pop's.
Yeah.
And then just before we split up, we did the announcement that Tyler won the Fireball challenge for the day.
Yeah.
And then I thought he was going to pass the little mini around.
No,
he just chugged it. But if I'd have done that, it would have
yeah.
destroyed me. I think I would have fallen off my bike a half mile down the road.
I had a beer when we got home. Before dinner, I was like, man, Jessica, I had like a quarter. I was like, I feel this already. It was a high percentage, but I didn't eat it all.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't eat enough. We ate.
What was the highlight of the day yesterday for you?
I don't know. It's just fun. We went from
The whole thing?
Like, I put on Strava, and I had a couple people ask me today, I was like, how'd you go from planning like 15 miles to 70 and then Brian doing 100? I'm like, we did it.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Do you think it's easier, though, to ride big distances like that unplanned when you know the roads?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today.
Because I knew Mom and Pop's was my next stop after Duncan, which was probably another, 20 to 30 miles from there, and then from there it was home, which is another 20 or 30 or whatever.
And you kind of knew the distances.
If I was doing 70 or 80.
Yeah, you knew the distances and you knew things. I kept going around and around with it today. At one point I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, well, of course it's going to be easier when you know the road.
I also did a very similar loop 3 weeks before this.
But the other side of me saying,
so I knew it in my head.
When you don't know the roads, everything's kind of new and everything's fresh, and you can go. I feel like you rack up miles quicker when you're on unfamiliar territory. It feels like it because everything's kind of new and fresh. But so maybe those two things just work out and they're kind of like opposing to each other, and it's how you feel in the moment. But and then you texted me like as I was sitting in the McDonald's, like, are you going to beat the storm? Because it was coming.
Because I just left Giant, and I'm like, ooh.
It's coming. And it was right over my shoulder. So I shot down Dow, and I only had like 9 miles left.
Yeah, past you.
And I had like 9 miles left, and then all of a sudden it started to like sprinkle a little bit, but it never really rained on me. It sprinkled some, but I got home just before. I think I'd just gotten out of the shower, and it opened up. Yeah. But man, what a fun day, though.
It was great.
What a fun day.
Like I texted Jess earlier, because I kind of had an idea in my head. I was sitting in Weiss. I'm like, I might go for 20 miles or 60. I was like, I don't know. I said, it all depends on.
You just don't know. And that was the best part about it, I think, being totally and completely unplanned and unsupported. I mean, that was total credit card. You had some food in your bike.
I didn't. Gummy worms.
I didn't have anything. Did Tyler have anything? I don't know. It was just plenty of stops and plenty of easy ride. And so it was fun. I had a great time doing it. And I know you did. I think Tyler did too. So we'll do it again, I think. But, then I'll see what I just did. I planned it. And it's almost like that ruins it. You can't plan it. I just think it has to happen. A ride like that yesterday has to just happen. If we tried to plan that, it wouldn't have been any good. Well, it would have been good, but it would have been different. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. What else is going on in your world? What shop stuff you got going
on? Shop last week was its full first regular week. It was pretty busy.
Nice.
A lot, which was good. We had staff all week. We were doing repairs, sales, build a lot of bikes, selling a lot of bikes. Met with Steve Keller, our Shimano, Ceres, Dynaplug, Goo. He reps a lot of brands in the territory. So I had a meeting with him today with Lori and Paul at Proteus, getting some able to do a lot of direct stuff with him now. Been meaning to do like Ceres Direct for a while. Yeah. And then he was setting up our stuff so we could.
Oh, so you don't have to go through Cube for some of that stuff.
Yeah. We can actually get product. We can buy in bulk. Then we have some buying power.
Well, 2 shops, yeah.
Yeah.
When's the third one open up?
Next week. Yeah. All the way down to, I didn't realize he was Dynaplug. Getting a bunch of Dynaplug stuff from him too, which is, the creme de la creme for tubeless plugs, all the way from motocross down to bikes. So they do everything. They do it well. I've been kind of fed up with I don't know what was that day I broke like 5 stands darts.
Oh, the dart.
Plastic.
I'm over the dart.
They were great.
I'm over the dart.
It's a great idea. It's a plastic version of Dynaplug. So I don't mind spending $40 on Dynaplug with refills.
I'm over
when it's going to work.
I'm over the dart.
And I actually got my hands on. He had samples today. Have you seen the Dynaplug with the CO2 attachment?
No.
So you can plug it and inflate it at the same time.
So you inflate it through the hole.
Yeah. And the part of the plug has little holes in it, so you can inflate it and then pull it out. Freaking genius. I've been meaning to.
So if you think about that from a race perspective, that's huge.
Freaking fast, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably buy the little pill, something a little more. I don't need that super lightweight duty. That one's more like on the a race thing, but yeah. There's a lot of cool options.
Wow. I guess you really have to become familiar with what size hole, where, to know when to use something like that, as to use when to not use something like that. But man, if you really got to the point where you knew where you were doing with that, that's a huge time saver.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
pretty
actually
cool.
A brilliant idea. That's new, or is that something they've had for a while and it's just been off the radar?
I think it's been out for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
I don't know. I keep meaning to get one from somewhere, and I was like, well, why don't we just get our own shop ones with our name on them?
Well, I get all of my gear through the Patuxent Adventure Center.
Well, I was going to call.
If you guys don't have it, I don't know it exists.
Friends, Nate's got them up at Hush Money with their name on them. The Radovitz has them. Everyone has them. Not
with their
everyone,
name on them? Like branded?
Yeah, well, they'll for a little bit more, they'll put your shop name.
Nice.
You get GTD ones.
Ooh, that was my thought. But then where would we sell them?
Through the store, through the website.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
And you mix match colors. It's
we
cool.
don't want to take. We don't. One thing we don't ever want to do with this is take away from shop sales. So I don't want to do that.
I'm not.
I know. But I know. You're in a delicate. We've talked about that very early, though. That was a decision that was made very early, that we're not selling bike stuff because the shop sells bike stuff. So, what else? Anything else new and interesting on the bike industry front?
No, we were getting a crap ton of Specialized bikes over the last week or two. We've always had them trickling in.
Yeah.
We're just got some bigger orders coming through.
Nice.
No Diverges or anything, but a lot of hybrids, Cirruses, and
you gave me, so
bikes.
I'll beat you to the punch. You gave me an update on my frame.
Yeah.
You said sometime
mid-September, early to mid-September.
Yep. Did my new Garmin show up yet?
Shipped today.
Did it really?
Oh yeah!
Holy cow!
Yeah, they at one point in time I thought it was a 3 week. I don't know.
So I am making the move from my old 520
finally
that I've had for probably 6 years. I've probably had that 520 6 years, and it owes me nothing. And it crapped out on me. Saturday? It crapped out on me on that ride, and I lost a couple of miles. Which, I mean, who cares? But still, you know what? I started to think about it. It's about mile 90. I was like, oh crap! What if this Garmin?
Didn't I tell you to bring
messes
your
the bed? Yes, you did, and I didn't do it. I just laughed it off, ha ha. And boy, would I have been upset. That would have hurt. That one would have hurt. Losing a few miles off of a Saturday morning ride, who cares? But to do a big effort like that,
I told you. It's not like I could have added you because I didn't go as far as you.
Yeah,
it shipped today.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
I can't check order status because I don't know my password.
No, that's okay. I'm not worried. I was just joking, actually.
Oh no, I saw it on my drive home from Proteus today.
That's pretty cool. I won't mind that. So I am going with the 830, which is the touchscreen. I went round and around because I know some of the early 830s had issues with
rat.
Yeah,
you got a rat problem?
No,
round and round.
Oh, I went. Music reference. I know that early on the 830 had some issues with the touchscreen.
I think it was 820.
The 820. Well, I know that some of the earlier variations, their first entries,
820 and the 520 were like the worst units they ever made.
Okay,
that's what you have, right?
Well, I didn't. No, I have a 520.
Yeah, 520, which is horrible.
So the 830, I did all my homework, and it looks like they resolved a lot of the issues with the touchscreen. Everybody says it's really solid, really good. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you can't use it with gloves, but I can't use my 520 with gloves either. So what does it matter? Or with full finger gloves when it gets cold out.
Created. I use my phone to log in.
Label created.
There's my face.
That's okay. That's a whole lot faster than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, me too.
So that's pretty awesome, dude. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm excited to actually. Now, little toys and trinkets like that just excite me. I'm a gadget dude, kind of like, I like messing around with gadgets and tech stuff, and I think it's pretty obvious. But so, and aren't you and Jess going to the 830s
I
as
emailed
well?
Bennett again yesterday. I got Jess a 1030 and I got an 830.
She got a 1030.
I ordered her an 81030.
What'd you get the 1030? Why did you get her the bigger touring style? Just have something different.
Yeah, so we have two different, because I use them as demo side of things too.
Oh, that's smart. Okay.
We're most likely going to stock a lot of 530 level with our Wahoo stuff too, but I don't stock I might stock an 830, and I don't even know if we'll stock a 1030.
Well,
so why not just have them on my...
I'm hoping one thing that the touchscreen is going to do is going to make it easier and quicker to set up screens.
Yeah.
Because with the 520, with the button, it's so repetitive. Click, 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 click. But, it just, oh my goodness. Yeah. It got so... Yeah. That's really the only thing I want the touchscreen for. It's not for daily use, although I think it would come in handy with that. And either the 830, and I'm sure the 1030 as well, really up their game with regards to mapping.
Yeah.
The 830 you can put in an actual physical address, and it uses heat mapping to actually, as opposed to direct route.
To get you there.
Yeah, which is kind of nice because that's kind of the way I plan my routes in places where I don't know where I am is through heat maps. So to actually have that carry over into the unit, although I don't ever really do that. I don't know that I've ever done that.
Yeah.
Like needed to go somewhere on my bike. I've always got my phone and I would do it that way as opposed to plugging it into the unit. Although I would probably do the homework on the phone and figure out where I need to be. And then if I could do it on the bike computer, then maybe that would be a nice little benefit with touring and stuff to look for an alternative. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm excited about that. I'm excited that that's going to come in. And I'm interested to see Jess's 1030 as well, just because the form factor is supposed to be a little bit bigger, and that's a bigger screen, but it also has more touring style.
Yeah, it's got some features.
Yeah, not exactly sure what. Didn't really want to go there because you know how I set my cockpit up on my bike. I've got my phone.
You got all the screens.
Yeah, I've got my phone pretty much right there. On my gravel bike, my phone sits on top of my Rootworks bag with the quad lock, and then on my Roubaix, I've got a separate little quad lock that sits. So I've always got my phone like up on the bars. So if I needed direction stuff, I think I could pick that up there easily enough. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay, so cool. Glad to see the shops moving forward and had a full week, and I'm excited to see it start filling up. That's going to be cool. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. You want to do Strava Club?
Yep.
What's going on over there?
All right. I almost want to say Kevin Durant, but Kevin Hartnett from the Delaware Water Gap, PA, with 163.1.
Good job, Kevin.
Man, we got the PA club.
I noticed that.
Dibbler? Brian Dibbler from Lewisberry, PA, with 257.7.
Big miles, Brian. Good job.
And Raymond Rolden from Bethlehem, PA, with 136.3. Sorry, that messed me up down because we needed 130.6 to break into the top 100.
And that's just a couple miles less than it was last week. We flirted around that 130 mark this time of year.
Yeah. Thanks to Lachlan Morton, we are up to 752 members from 748. He had a special shout out.
He's our latest famous entry into the middle. No, he's not there, everybody. That would be awesome, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
Yeah.
He'd just blow everybody away, though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Our Strava club is strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt.
Did we talk about this last week? I don't know if we did or not. Lachlan Morton and Alex Howes have both said they are back for Unbound next year.
Oh, really?
Like publicly said it. Like,
yeah, because Peter Sagan's doing it too.
Well, that'll be an interesting thing. We were talking. Well, we should have this conversation here on the podcast.
We should have Peter on here.
He keeps texting me, and I just keep telling him, dude, you're not a gravel guy. And he's like, what gravel races should I do that I would get on the program? And I said, just
you need to give Unpaved 2022 a shot.
You need to get in the scene,
Put
man.
on the calendar, yeah.
It's like your first one or two. They're still not going to cut it. You need to have 3 or 4 under your belt before GTD is going to entertain having you on mic. So he didn't like to hear that, but then he said, of course,
I was unaware of that. Well. Best of luck. Me and him are supposed to party together soon.
Wouldn't we love to have those kind of problems? But we talked about that. We should have. Remember, we were in the shop the other day talking about those guys like doing these gravel races, and I hope to God it doesn't mean that USAC comes along with them, because that would suck. Do you think that's a possibility?
I don't think it'll happen.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Well, I just that's my only fear of all these big names kind of getting into the gravel game, I fear that there's going to be some bureaucracy that would come along with it, and I hope that's not true. So we'll see. I don't know. Since we just did a long ride, I thought it would be an interesting thing to look at a long ride checklist.
Okay.
Of all the things. Now, obviously, there's a lot of them that are kind of like normal, like you would expect to see them there, but there are some things that maybe not. But I thought it would be interesting to talk about, all of these different things. So, obviously, the top of that list is your bike. Yep. You're not going to go on a long bike ride without your bike, but you need to look at the condition of your bike, I think, before you approach a long ride. What are the good things to check, Joey? On like a basics, like you're about to go out and you're going to do a big effort.
First, you have a bike.
Right.
I don't know that.
Tires, chain.
You shouldn't be checking it just before a big ride. You should.
Well, I agree.
I mean, there's a lead into that.
I agree.
You should know where you sit at with where your tires are at. If you got, I haven't done sealant in a year in them, or.
Oh, no, I get caught short on that every once in a while. Yeah. I have to make some mental checks about when I put. What I started to do is on my Strava, like, I have different names for rides, and I'll tag things with different names for
I know like a gear thing you could set up on Strava nowadays.
Oh yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff like that. But I'll always just say new tire day. Yeah, we'll title my ride new tire day for that bike, so then I can go back and look at my Strava rides.
Let's see. Oh man, I don't know my Strava password.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I can kind of know the distance, but little things you might want to look at. I mean, because if you're going out doing 20 miles a day, you may not necessarily think about some of these things, but boy, would it suck to be out there on a big day and have that big day blow up because of a tire issue, and I had it on ESR where people were out on the biggest day of the year or the biggest day of the week. They were on Century Day and they were like, "Oh, I knew that tire was getting ready to go."
Yeah.
Well, duh. What in the world, seriously.
Well, let's see.
So, I think you can do gear stuff on Strava. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, you can do gear stuff.
We'll correct us on that.
There's certain things, tires. So I don't really. I've charged my batteries once, other than when they were fresh. So I plan on doing somewhat of a decent ride Sunday morning. So Saturday night, I charge my batteries from my ETAP.
Yeah.
My Axis.
Yep, and charging things. That's another
charging,
good thing.
So charging my batteries, I plugged in my lights because I run front and rear strobing. So I charged all those. I forgot to charge my headphones, but I wasn't riding alone. My aftershocks.
I don't wear them so much when I'm riding anymore. I wear them a lot when I'm fishing, but I don't wear them so much when I'm riding anymore.
But yeah, all my electronics I had plugged in.
So I just put that down at the bottom list to make sure you charge your devices.
That's top of the list for me.
Well, but I'm just adding it to the bottom of the list because I want to put this list on the either the website or somewhere where people could grab it and
the next thing I usually check is I'm gonna check it before each ride. Is I make sure my cleats are tight on my shoes.
Shoot, that's number 2 on the list is shoes.
Make sure they're good to go.
Okay.
I don't have old rinky-dink shoes, luckily. But I do check my boas and stuff and my cleats because those speed plays probably have just about 1,000 miles on them now, which is actually pretty good.
Okay.
I've been doing miles lately.
Yeah,
I almost got 700, 800 miles on my Athos.
Well, we need to talk about the fact that you're down a bike too. But we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Down a bike?
Yeah. One left the shop on Saturday. The All City's gone.
Oh,
Zigzag.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Bye-bye Zigzag. I felt kind of sad watching that roll out the door, honestly. I don't know. So shoes, cleat condition, probably the number one thing. Cleats are tight.
Yeah, you're going to have a bad day if they're old and getting stuck or falling off.
So this is kind of a combination of maybe a checklist of things to make sure, because a lot of us, when you go to a big ride, it's an event and you're not rolling out of your house. Yeah. So you need to make sure you've got all the things.
Yeah.
Like I have my race day bag that I use, and I know that my shoes are in it, I know my helmet's in it, and I know all my things are in it. But if you don't have a system like that, and you just need to have a checklist. So obviously your helmet, what should people be looking at on helmets to know when they're clapped out? Just age?
Yeah, like yours.
Like mine.
And my black one. My S-Works helmet's probably end of its helmets generally have a 3 to 5 year shelf life, whether you use them or not. And the more you use it, sometimes the shorter it is on that 3 to 5 years because of UV rays breaking down.
You've told me that you wear your helmet into the shower every once in a while and kind of like
scrub it down. The one thing I didn't do Saturday morning that I was supposed to do was wear Saturday after we rode is it's been nasty, so it stinks. Doesn't smell horrible, but I've been meaning to wash it in the shower.
So you just wear it like straight out in the shower?
No, I don't wear it. I just take it with me in the shower.
I like better the idea of you wearing butt naked and wearing your helmet in the shower.
There's been a couple like crusty rides where I've gotten in the shower in my kit and everything and just taken off. 30 cans. I just walked right into the shower in the bathhouse and like had my kit on for like 5 minutes.
That's what we would do with the SR. Yeah. But you're just walking in fully clothed. It's not a bike kit. You're just walking into the shower fully clothed just because that's the only way to wash it.
Every so often, don't put it in the dishwasher, but wash your helmet.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, I need to do that.
I see like gloves. You throw your gloves in the laundry.
So I do that, but they still stink. I can't get my gloves to not stink. I need to soak them in some vinegar. How many pair of gloves do you have?
Zero.
Do you cycle through them?
I don't wear gloves.
You don't?
I have two sets of hand ski gloves that I keep on hand. I have hand ups from Croatan.
Mm-hmm.
I forget it sometimes. Only if I'm like actually riding gravel, I wear them.
Yeah,
just for if I fall.
If you fall and get rocks.
Yeah, freaking.
Get all that embedded.
Those type of gloves work when it's like 50 degrees,
mm-hmm.
A little bit warmer than you sit in certain temperatures. So I don't need bigger gloves. Like I would actually even say in 40s, those cover my hands enough.
Do you ever have a problem with your hands getting like sweaty and slippery on the hoods?
A little.
See, I had that. I used to not ride
gloves.
I
use Supercaz. That stuff's tacky. You have really slippery bar tape too on the Roubaix.
Yeah,
it looks perfect.
We were talking about that the other day. That
slippery.
Tape is probably a year and a half old, and it looks on point. But you know what I think that comes down to? Having a professionally applied by a top-notch anal retentive mechanic that is very, very particular about his bar tape. Because that's you.
Oh, so did he move to Michigan? No, I know I did that.
you did
well,
that.
That's also the quality of that tape.
Yeah.
I mean, Jess's lizard skins I taped to my standard, but the lizard skin stuff's like 3 months in, 2 months in, just
doesn't hold up.
No.
You know what?
Hers is ripping a lot quicker than most, but
man, that stuff it looks brand new.
Yeah,
it literally looks brand new. Now, as you were saying, who knows what's going on underneath of it?
Your bars are probably rotten.
So, do you think it's a time to rip that off and take a look at it, or no?
I don't know. We should do it soon. You got to commit. You got to go on eBay and look for that same tape because Supercaz doesn't make it anymore.
They don't make that blue tape anymore?
No.
Oh. Do you think that it could go back on? Like if you pulled it off and examined? Oh, man. Killing me.
Not well.
Why can't we
we could, but
force them to make that color again?
Oh, yeah. Just call them real quick.
I call them. They'll do it for me.
Yeah.
Next item, obviously, water and electrolyte or whatever you do.
Yeah, I'm always checking on. I use Scratch.
Do you Scratch?
I'm pretty hardcore with Scratch over last year or so. Strawberry limeade.
I'm bad about this. I just
because I drink.
I do 30-mile routes, 40-mile routes, and not just straight water.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, don't forget your water bottles either. How many times?
I did that.
Yeah,
I've only done it once.
How many times though?
Just once.
Does that happen to any? No, not just you. I mean, you show up at a ride and somebody like, oh, I forgot my water bottle. You know. So don't forget that, but also electrolyte. And if you're going out for a big ride, a long ride, and it's like don't try something new. Don't all of a sudden go, hey, now I'm going to start trying Scratch.
Oh, yeah. And I know when I get to a gas station, Orange Gatorade's I did the long ride I did like 3 weeks ago, which was similar, -6s. I actually took Noon, the Noon tubes?
Uh-huh.
I filled those up with two of them with a bottle's worth of Scratch and just put them in my bag.
Yeah.
So when I got to the gas station, I just had water.
You just dump the Scratch in.
Yeah.
Well, Scratch comes in the little.
I have the bulk
package.
I buy the 50 serving bag.
A lot of people swear by Scratch.
Never upsets my stomach or anything.
That's
tastes
good.
Great.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have some of the protein or other stuff that if you let it sit too long, like if I don't drink my Scratch bottle on a Thursday night ride, I can put it in the fridge for Friday morning or something.
Yeah. I've always been a Noon guy when I put something in, and I will for a long ride. But yesterday, we didn't know we were doing it, so I didn't pack anything. I had nothing.
Yeah.
Obviously, Multitool.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna lump all this stuff together. Your multi-tool, your tube, a
spare
pump
kit.
for CO2, some tire levers,
Yeah.
a spare link for your chain, and as we were just talking about, a quality plug kit.
Spare link if you have a chain tool in your multi-tool. Otherwise, spare link ain't doing crap.
You know, I don't ride without a chain tool.
You don't have one.
Yes, I do. Oh, I don't have one on
No,
my
you don't.
on my
Not in your
Roubaix.
Roubaix.
I'm a Roubaix. I do not because I don't. But I've always ridden with a chain tool, chain breaker.
Yeah.
So I don't on my Roubaix. You're right about that because you have the little multi-tool. I depend upon the little
The
multi-tool.
little
that's in the
multi-tool.
swap box.
I think it's Crank Brothers C19. I don't know which. I have a few of them.
all my other multi-tools have a
Yeah.
chain breaker.
Because my Wolf Tooth Masterlink pliers has the Masterlink pliers, 2 Masterlinks, and I keep a chunk of links. And then it's a tire lever, and the bolt for that is a chainring bolt.
Really?
Which doesn't work for any of my bikes, but it looks cool.
So do you carry zip ties with you? That's another thing.
Not anymore. I
I'll
forgot.
carry on touring. Zip ties, a little bit of a Gorilla Tape wrapped around like a lighter or something. That's something I'll carry when I'm touring. I don't really necessarily worry about that on long rides, but that's something I carry for that. Again, charged lights.
Yeah, that's the night before.
So yesterday,
You need to wear your hat in the shower.
I know. Well, I need to get a new one. Yesterday, my Fly 6, because wasn't planning it.
Died both days I rode with you.
Well, yeah. Well, both of them were long days.
Well, that's a problem.
So, but what I will do, because I thought about this, a solution for that is I'm going to take my little secondary, my little hot light, kind of like just a little flashy red light, and actually strap it onto the.
You need a brighter taillight.
Well, I
It's
don't.
not that bright.
It's not that bright because I didn't have it set on bright. I'll set it on bright. If it make you happy, I'll
I
set
got
it on bright.
300 lumen rear taillight now because I wanted to be as bright as possible.
I will set it on bright if that'll make you happy. So for me, with the Fly 6, and a lot of people run the Fly 6, maybe carry a second little light.
Yeah.
So you get a rear blinky that, once that Fly 6 with the camera dies and then the light itself goes out as well, you got something back there. Because I think that's important. I think it's really important to have that. Food or nutrition. You carry gummy bears and like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
What other kind of go-tos do you deal with?
I haven't done rice cakes in a while.
Yeah.
I'll grab blocks of some sort, whatever we have at the store.
Shot blocks.
Yeah.
I was on the shot blocks train for a long time too.
Yeah.
It's come down for me like pickles.
Yeah, let's say pickles. I always have pickles on long rides. You eat a lot of pickles now.
Pickles and I eat way too many pickles, dude. Pickles and caffeine. And knowing your route. I think having your route on some kind of a device or something so that you've got an idea about where you're going, or just for simply especially if you go out and do a long ride solo, you may want to drop a route somewhere where some people will know where you are. That's probably not a bad idea. Okay, this is where it starts to get fun. Whiskey. What's your whiskey to carry?
I usually don't carry it. I bought the Fireball yesterday.
That's just a joke. Sunscreen.
Yeah, I wish I texted you that. I said I should have worn sunscreen yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like a little...
Yeah, it got me. It got me underneath on my cheeks.
Yeah, my nose.
You can kind of see it, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It was one of those days where it was kind of overcast, so it kind of snuck up on you.
Yep. Yeah, I always carry a credit card, whether it's 10 miles or...
Credit card or cash.
And
Credit card
I
or
do
cash?
keep Apple Pay loaded on my phone just in case.
I don't carry much cash. In fact, I
don't
usually
carry
keep
cash.
I carry I think I've
that's
got
your
a
wife.
10 or a 20 shoved in my SWAT box.
Oh, next time your service, bike
Yeah.
number service.
Yeah, you could break it up.
Buy a round on the boys.
And I'll tuck it away in there just to have it. The off chance you get to one of those places where credit cards aren't they don't take credit cards. You need to, do you carry, and this is something that I carry for long rides, but I didn't yesterday, a little battery pack and some cables to charge devices if you need to.
No.
You don't
I
ever
don't
carry
ride that long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always carry, actually I carry a couple of them with me on tours. I'll got the little single ones, like the little 2,500 milliamp hour, little small ones that are about the size of a credit card, and I'll stuff them in my seat bag, or I'll stuff them in my. There's a little sleeve that's right on the side of my feed bag, up on the handlebars, and I'll shove them in there. So that and honestly, I have to keep my Garmin plugged in a lot of times, which is probably a part of my problems with the 520 is it doesn't want to charge all the time.
Yeah.
It's because I've had that cord like shoved in there. So anyway, I thought it'd be kind of nice to actually throw a list like that together, and maybe we'll publish that in the social places. Because if you don't have something, and I referenced it earlier, like my Race Industries bag from Pedal, or my race bag from Pedal Industries, it's got little spots. Everything's marked. Everything goes in there, and I know exactly what is in there, and I don't have to think about it anymore. So when I go for a ride where I have to drive to the ride, I've got it all kind of set up. Did you see, Joey, that Lael Wilcox has abandoned her Divide time trial?
Yeah.
That was kind of too bad. I was following that. It was a lot of fun. I'm not really a big dot tracker. Or a dot watcher or whatever they're called, where you have those big track leaders where they have their dots. But I was actually following that one. I wanted to see where she was and how she was doing, and she looked like she was doing really well. Time was good, but I guess the smoke got her from the wildfires. She has bad asthma. So, last item of newsworthy note this week: Steamboat Gravel was this last weekend. If you don't know what that is, it's 144 miles with 9,400 feet of gain with more than 100 miles of gravel. So, honestly, it doesn't hold a candle to unpaved. That's 120 miles of gravel, right?
Yeah.
Close to it?
I don't know. Didn't know what you were saying at first.
Interesting, though. Alex Howes of EF Education won the race. It's in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. It came down to a three-way sprint at the end. So there was a three-way at the end with Howes, Ian Boswell from Wahoo Frontiers, and Peter Stetina? How do you say it? Stetna? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm reading. Of Canyon. And
so I think, did they all do Leadville? So Leadboat too?
I don't know. I didn't look up the Leadville results or any of that. It was just one day. So Leadville Trail 100
because I think
was the day before. And Howes did ride in that, I know, because he was there with Lachlan Morton, who finished second behind Keegan Swenson. Howes finished Leadville in 14th place, but obviously came back strong for Steamboat.
Yeah, so he did both.
I know he did both. I don't know if these other guys did both.
I think so.
If he did both, and there's other and Stetina, is that how you say it? Stetna. I can't get it right. I'm sorry. We're never going to have him on the program. If they didn't, well, then that's more kudos to him. That's awesome. So anyway, I can't.
Well.
But those numbers, 144 miles, 9,400 feet of gain, and 100 miles of gravel. I mean, those are unpaved numbers, dude, right? Mm-hmm. So why didn't, I don't know. I'm just unpaved. I'm a fanboy.
You are.
Well, you are too then.
I am.
What you looking at? What's going on?
You didn't do anything about the women.
No, I didn't because I looked up one result. So please do it. Go for it. Please.
I butcher her name. I've tried to say it a few times. Lauren D. Crescenzo. Someone's yelling at the radio right now. From the Essential Elite team, which was a big up and coming. They have some powerful riders. She came in first. Lauren Stevens from Tibco. Tibco is originally a road team. And then
they're all doing it. They're all coming over.
I heard this earlier. Flavia Oliveira Parks. Man, someone else is yelling. Man, I'm butchering this. From Avis Pro Gravel Team, finished third. No sprint on that one. They were, because I saw this yesterday. Yeah, there's about 15-minute gap between first and third, and with second right in the middle of that. There were some, and there was some pretty powerful women that did both too.
Allison did, right?
She did. I haven't looked at her at all.
Okay. I just follow her. I follow her on Instagram, so yeah, and I know she's talking about. I think she did both.
Sarah, they called her Sarah Sturm. Sarah Sturmy, she did really well in both. And then placed first out of all the females that did both.
Oh, cool, cool.
Yeah, so she crushed it. She's a specialized Wahoo rider.
Nice.
So, I didn't pay attention to any of the guys that did the lead boat, other than I saw Alex Howells the day before, and I was like, oh, he's still riding bikes. And then he won the next day, which was cool. So I don't know. There's a girl. I forgot her name. Matilda Reynolds. She races road for Specialized Women team. I forgot. Brain fart. She has been in the U.S. for like 3 months racing like the Crit Series, and just had her tarmac. She has like an SL7 tarmac and rode steamboat on that.
No way,
which is really cool. Yeah,
that's awesome.
She came in 15th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what's the biggest size tire you could put on that?
She was probably running 28s, maybe.
Holy cow!
You could put like maybe a 32 on that, but I don't think she had any attention. I think she couldn't get back to Australia quick enough, and she's like, "Oh, I'm here. Let's just go."
Oh man, that's cool. That's super cool.
I'll wrap that up so I can get upstairs.
No, that's okay. That's an interesting side. We don't talk a lot about those big races like that, but I think it's kind of interesting to spend a few minutes talking about that. You want to do this or that?
Oh, also one big ride shout out. Mark, Philly Bike Expo. Mark did that 350 ride from Pittsburgh to Philly.
He was number one on the Strava Club.
He should have been. He already does big miles. But I guess that route he did, I forgot what it was called. Dave will probably yell at the radio for this one. He did it in like 30 hours through the night.
Good, great.
Lap. He had a really good. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I need to look at
He's
that.
always been a badass. That was like a whole different level. Yeah. Okay.
This or that. First item, Joey, on this week's This or That. Five Guys or Chipotle?
Mid-ride or?
Yes, mid-ride.
So mid-ride, that's tough because both are horrible. You get food coming from both. I'd probably go Chipotle. It's less greasy.
Little food, baby. I'd probably do the French fries at Five Guys.
True, but
I don't do burger.
No, you got to eat burger. You don't go to Five Guys and get French fries.
Well, no, we're just talking mid-ride.
Mid-ride? No,
mid-ride.
I would be responsible and get a proper portion of Chipotle because I want the rice.
Okay.
I actually probably want chicken and steak.
You just got to be careful with like the salsas and stuff like that, right?
I probably wouldn't get the salsas.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Because I like the hot.
Yeah, that's the stuff that would light you up.
Yeah.
So I mixed on that one. I would probably say Five Guys over Chipotle.
Yeah. Chipotle, you get the chips, a little salt.
So since you're in second item on this week's This or That, since you're in the midst of setting up your brand new bike shop, Joey, would you rather have many, many bad minion employees or only one truly competent employee?
That's a loaded question. Because I've had many, many minions, but I've had really good minions too.
Okay.
I don't know.
So many hands versus...
Oh, I would take... I mean, whether it was 1 or 12, less moving parts is always easier.
Okay. All right.
So less ways to screw stuff up.
Well, since I don't have any experience, I'm going to go with one competent employee because that would be my experience. Yeah. I don't know. So this is off of our ride yesterday. Third item on this week's This or That, Joey. During a mid-ride, would you rather have had a very, very bad pickle or no pickle?
I didn't mind the bad pickle.
Yesterday, maybe my pickle.
I feel like that was a fake pickle, though.
Maybe yesterday's pickle. Maybe I had the worst of the bunch because it was awful. It was horrible.
It was okay.
Mine was.
Didn't stop you from eating all of it.
Horrible. I couldn't even eat half of it. It was horrible, and it was those. I think the difference is the refrigerated versus the unrefrigerated. Yeah. So those were unrefrigerated shelf pickles that had been sitting there. Who knows how long those pickles had been sitting there in the back shelf of mom and pop's?
Maybe.
That's what worried me or concerned me most.
Probably forever.
And as soon as that fact dawned on me yesterday, I had to put the pickle away. I was like, I can't eat any more of the pickle. So I think I'd rather have no pickle. Last item on this week's This or That, Joey. Would you rather be caught in a bad storm that passes, ever so slowly, or slog it out and suffer it in the heat and humidity?
Oh, I'll go bad storm.
Bad storm?
I freaking hate the heat.
I know. You texted me
I
yesterday.
wish I was hoping it was going to rain a little bit yesterday.
Well, it did. Whoa, it did a little bit. It did a little bit on me. Wow. You texted me at one point, and you said, are you going to beat the rain? And I said, I don't know if I'm going to beat the rain, but I do know it's not going to stop me.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be the thing that I got the 92 on and been like, oh, man, I'm not done anymore. I got to call it now because it's a really bad storm. The kicker is it passes slowly. That means you're kind of like cooling off.
I don't care.
And,
Not the heat.
I would definitely not want to
Not
suffer.
like the 105 heat index rides we've had this week.
I'll take a storm passing slowly because I'll ride through it until the lightning gets bad and then wait it out until the lightning's gone. Yeah. I keep that cool lightning tracker on my phone now, and it pings my watch when lightning happens, and it gives me the distances and all that stuff. So I think I would just use my technology to suffer through the bad storm as opposed to the heat. Okay, you got anything else, Joey, before we shut this one down this week?
No, I'm done for the night.
Got nothing? Okay. No. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. It's a listener-supported podcast by some amazing and incredible people on Patreon and or PayPal. You could be one of those folks as well. Just head over to our website, and you can find out more information about that. Joey, how can folks get in touch with us?
GravelTravelDirt.com. Our Instagram is at MidAtlanticGTD, and our phone number is 410-231-3850.
We haven't had anybody leave any voicemails in a while. I'm thinking we're gonna. I don't know that I want to encourage people. I'd rather get an email. I'd rather get a really good email.
Oh, I did.
That we could have some conversation.
I did one of those audio things though for our voicemail at work. Didn't read the file on my computer right, but it was super clear.
Yeah.
Compared to everything else.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, I think you can always. But we may not play the voicemail, but that would be a good way to do it. Folks, Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt this week is recorded from right here in Joey's kitchen. Thanks for riding along, everybody. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, and respect others.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.